Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. Never get that. So today I'm going to tell you about homebrewing. It's one of my hobbies. So today we're going to talk about homebrewing, and it is a very, it's becoming a very popular or hobby now with the introduction of a lot of craft beers coming onto the market. And so, it's one that I've taken accustomed to, and I wanted to give a demonstration about it today. So what we're going to start with is there's 4 main areas for homebrewing. We have our sanitizing area, then you get into your brewing, your fermenting, and then your bottling section. And so with the equipment, so here's most of your main equipment. You have your your brush for cleaning, your sanitizer. This is a one-step rinse or no rinse sanitizer. Some of the, here's your yeast, your cloth for all your grains and stuff like that when you're brewing. This is an extract. And when you're home brewing, you don't use regular dish soap because it actually takes away the bacteria. So you actually use just liquid hand soap, one that's unscented and doesn't have any other add-ins to it. This is your main brew pot. This is for a 1-gallon setup too. I didn't say that in the first part, but this is for a 1-gallon setup. So this is your main brew kettle. This is the one I use. It's best to use a stainless steel spoon because if you use a little wooden ones, you can get bacteria in there when you're mixing your malt and stuff. You use a strainer. I like to double strain mine just because you don't get any of that nasty malt extract or yeast or hops when you put it in your fermenter. So this is your fermenter. As you can see right here, this is your it's for when you first start it because there's a lot of CO2 when you put the yeast in. So this is your airlock. And this is a 1-gallon setup, like I said. So after you brew this for you start your malt extract for about an hour. So an hour, and it stays at 140 degrees. So for 140 degrees, you brew for an hour, and then right at the end you add your hops. When you have your, your hops are what adds the bitterness to the beer. When you brew and you ferment, the fermenter takes about 2 weeks. 2 weeks for a good fermentation. Some people like to do a double setup. I've probably going to upgrade my setup here soon, so it's going to be a lot bigger. So after that, when you get into bottling after the 2 weeks, so 2 weeks, so you have to take your fermentation. So you take your malt and all your your beer. It's not carbonated. It's an uncarbonated beer system. So when you put it into your beer bottles, you will usually use priming sugars. You could use, the main one is corn sugars. There's also a lot of people do use just regular house sugar, just the white sugar. I like to make mine in a simple syrup and then mix it in with the beer before you put it into the bottle. So when you put it in the bottle, it sits for 2 weeks. This is your bottle capper here. And then these are your bottles, or your caps. Right there, just plain caps. I reuse my beer bottles just from the one you drink. Just take the labels off. As you can see, some of the labels don't come off all the way. This is your racking cane that puts it from your fermenter to your beer using a nice hose with just a simple starter and stopper. Just it clamps down on the hose. And after 2 weeks, so from start to finish, it takes you about 4 weeks to a month, a month to 6 weeks just to get it right. You usually taste it at the first part, or after 4 weeks, you taste the beer in the bottle, and then if you don't like it, you go back and redo the taste on it. And it's just as needed as to when you feel it's done. And so yeah, after you've went from sanitation to brewing to fermentation to bottling, you you could be at 4 weeks to 6 weeks, and it is very popular. I enjoy my brewing, and as I say, stop, enjoy a homebrew.